Hello and welcome to Tuesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic. On an extraordinary run of puzzles we are at the moment, with some quite world-class stuff every single day. And today we are hoping to continue that streak. We've got a puzzle called Blackadder by Udukos. Now this has been requested by people who have failed to solve it, and also recommended by people who have solved it. So it should be it should be brilliant. Udukos, if you're familiar with the channel, you will know Udukos's puzzles are magnificent. I've just noticed my glasses, can't see out of them. Right, excuse me. I'm not going to pause the video. I'm just going to clean my glasses and continue to talk. I hope that's okay. Now, what do I need to tell you about before we kick off? Well, I think the most important thing I'd like to tell you about today is the video we released earlier on, 10 o'clock this morning. We released Woofer ZFG's video in which he explains how to solve Adventure by John Schneider. Now this puzzle, I've talked about it in the last couple of videos. I view it as the hardest puzzle I've ever solved in my life, and it appeared in the 2018 Galactic Puzzle Hunt, and we've been wanting this video to appear on the channel for literally years. And I know loads of you are watching it and just having your minds blown, so do check it out if you have. It's only a 10-minute video, but it really is worth watching, if nothing else, but just to admire John Schneider's gumption and brilliance in producing a puzzle of that nature. Also, yesterday we had a crossword video from Mark. We've got Sam Kavanagh-Johnson's classic Sudoku video on Patreon at the moment, and you can have a go at that puzzle by clicking a link under this video as well. And apart from that, I can't think what else. There's loads going on though, and I've got some birthdays to tell you about, so let me do that. Firstly, let's say happy birthday to Bartosz, and that's from, I think it's Dorota. It could be Dorota. That's in Poland. We hope that you have a brilliant day. Now, Doug, your son Kerrigan Smith, he wrote to us to say that you're in Texas, I think, and he's a sailor, and you always used to watch the videos together, but since he's been on the high seas, you've not been able to watch the videos together for a while, but he thought you'd appreciate a birthday shout out, which we're very happy to do. So Doug, I hope you have a brilliant day today. Next, Erin, and you're over there in Edmonton, I think, and that's from your husband Adam. He wrote to us. That's Adam Mravnik. I might be saying that wrong, but Erin, we hope that you have a massive amount of chocolate cake today. And finally, Munjin Chowdhury, who unfortunately is laid up at the moment with COVID, turns 13 today. He's not going to be able to celebrate with his friends as a result of quarantining. But Munjin, I hope that you are able to have some sort of fun today. Maybe this video will be, will give you some solace, and you'll be up and around again soon. So happy birthday to all four of you, from Mark and from me. And then the last thing I've got to do is to tell you about more successful solvers of the Paint by Numbers Institute. So we've had Doctoral. This is the Doctoral pack. This is the pack of like 35, 36, 37 puzzles. So very well done to Stefan Wooner. I hope I'm saying your surname correctly, Stefan. Wesley Spikes, to Harrison Stein, Rick Lobb, to Brian Sandcool, and to Eric McKee. All of you successfully solved the pack. Very well done. That is excellent solving indeed. Now we get to look at Blackadder. Now this puzzle, I did look it up on Logic Masters Germany before turning on the video. It has a lot of plaudits, and it has, I think, 5 stars out of 5 for difficulty. So this is probably going to be another very long video. I would love to do shorter videos, I really would, but the biggest criteria that we have for selecting puzzles for the channel is basically their brilliance. And if there are brilliant puzzles, they need to be seen. So I have to have a go at them. And they might take me a long time, and I can't help that. But if there are, and I'm sure there are, some incredible setters out there who think, well, I could come up with something brilliant that would only take Simon 20 minutes to solve, please send it to us. That would be fantastic. Every single puzzle that passes our testers at the moment comes with these warnings that I get saying, warning, may take more than an hour. But I don't mind. I love solving Sudoku. So let me read you the rules of this one. They are as follows. Normal Sudoku rules apply. The cells with a clue in the top left corner represent one end of a snake. Okay, it's called Blackadder. I shouldn't have been surprised. Each clue belongs to a different snake. I really should have read these rules before I turned on the webcam, shouldn't I? Each clue belongs to a different snake. Okay, well that makes sense. Okay, so we've got... Alright, it makes sense, but this is not a puzzle then where I've got to draw a gigantic snake in the grid. I've got lots of snakes today, so it should be called Blackadders, really. Anyway, the value of the clue gives the sum of all the digits that lie on a snake. These snakes behave as region sum lines. As a snake passes through different 3x3 boxes, digits on the snake have an equal sum n within each box it passes through. If the snake passes through the same box more than once, then each individual segment within that box sums to n separately. The snake must pass through at least 2 3x3 boxes. If question mark is given as a clue, then its value has to be deduced. The snakes can't touch themselves orthogonally or diagonally. Can't touch themselves orthogonally or diagonally. Okay, that makes sense, because I was thinking, aren't these snakes already touching each other? But I think they can touch each other as many times as they like, but they can't touch themselves. So this is a very interesting puzzle from that perspective. Two snakes can't share a cell together, so the snakes aren't allowed to be too close to one another because they can't be on top of each other. Wow, okay, so let me just think about this. So that's telling us, let's just look at this 20 clue. We're saying that this is one end of a snake. The digits on the snake in total sum to 20. And every time the snake, so if the snake looked like, let's say the snake looked like that, that might be a possible snake. If the snake looked like that, then we'd be saying that the snake visits 2 boxes in the Sudoku. And therefore in each box, because it has to have an equal sum in every box it visits, we'd be saying these 2 digits have to add up to 10, and these 3 digits have to add up to 10, so that the total for the snake overall is 20, and in each box the snake visits, it has an equal sum contributed in every box. That's mad. Right, okay. And now, is there anything else? Let me just revisit the rules again. Let me just check that I've understood what I need to do. Snakes behave as region sum lines. Okay. If the snake passes through the same box more than once, then each individual segment within that box sums to n separately. So that's saying, right, this is not going to work for this snake, but let's imagine this was a much bigger number. Let's say the snake did this. It would be saying that, oh, in fact, that would be impossible. I'd have to extend that. Right. So let's say that this was an 8. So that would be saying that the snake made an appearance in box 2 in one cell originally. Then these 3 cells would have to add to 8. These 3 cells would have to add to 8. Those 4 cells would have to add to 8, so that's clearly not possible, because these would have a minimum value of 10, but then these 2 cells would have to add to 8. What it's saying we don't do is, if 8 was the sum, we wouldn't have these 3 cells adding to 8, because every time the snake visits the region, it sort of resets the count of n, or resets the... Yeah, we have to make up the 8 anew. We can't borrow from the first time we were in that box. Good grief, right. I can see why this has got 5 stars out of 5 for difficulty. You need to have some sort of advanced Sudoku education to just understand the rules, but now I get to play. Let's see if we can find a cunning plan. Let's see if we're the Baldricks of Sudoku, or whether we're the Edmund Blackadders. And yeah, you can play by clicking the link under the video. Now I get to play. Let's get cracking. And I have my window open today, by the way, because it is absolutely roasting hot here in just south of London. So, okay, well that looks immensely massive. So we've got an absolutely ginormous snake here, a 49. Well, 49, that's really very interesting straight away, because 49 is only divisible by 7. So that means that this 49 clue, it must visit 7 different boxes of the Sudoku, and each time it visits a box, it's contributing, it needs cells summing to 7 along its length in that box. So this is a wandering snake. This is the hissing Cid of this puzzle. Once hissing Cid, an evil snake, kept the woodland folk awake in fear and trembling every night in case he gave someone a bite. Now all I can think about is my favourite line from that song, which I now have to not only remember and stay precise, but I will have to say it. And above them flew old Batty Bat, with his wings spread out quite flat. Owl's idea, the clever fella, to have a flying umbrella. Right, okay, so this is a massive long snake. It goes to 7 different boxes. Oh, no, actually that's not true, is it? It could revisit a box. Although it can't revisit its own box. That's interesting, because that cell is in the middle of its box. So if it sort of swanned off down here and then made its way back into box 5, the puzzle would be broken, because snakes, I think it said, cannot touch themselves diagonally. Indeed, they cannot. So this would be illegal. So this snake, it wends its way through 7 boxes of the grid. I can see that if it spends 3 cells in a box, like if it had 3 cells in box 5, these would have to be a 1, 2, 4 triple, because 1 plus 2 plus 4 equals 7. It's the only way of getting to 7 in 3 cells. It sounds like the tropical jungle out there, whatever that bird is. But hang on a minute, let me just think about this. So it's got to visit 7, so it starts in box 5, and its next box is going to be either box 2, box 4, box 6, or box 8. And then its third box is going to be an odd-numbered box. And then its 4th box is going to be an even-numbered box. And even if it turns back on itself, it goes back into an odd-numbered box again. So actually, we can now say that we understand approximately where the snake ends. Because if it's got 7 regions to visit, it must finish in an odd-numbered box. And it can't finish in box 5, we've established that. So it finishes in boxes 1, 3, 7 or 9. One of these boxes is where the red snake rests or has its tail. I don't see how to use that. Does anybody else? Probably. Okay, so let's have a think about some of these other numbers. 38 is also an interesting number because that is only divisible. Well, I'm going to state something for the record here. This 38 snake does not visit 19 regions of this puzzle. It does not do that. So that means it can only visit 2 regions of the puzzle because 19 is prime. So this snake has to have 19's worth of cells in box 6, and then it leaves box 6 to one other box exactly and puts 19's worth of cells in there. 19 is at least 3 cells. So this snake because this is the head or the tail of the snake, it can't take those 3 cells. So this snake definitely comes into column 8 and or column 9 before it leaves this box. So it can't just head off like this. This will not work. Question mark clues we can ignore. They are just there to annoy me. There's another question mark clue there. 22, that's a little bit interesting as well. Again, 11 being prime. So this box, this visits 2 regions as well. So this has 11. It has 11's worth of cells in box 7, and then 11's worth of cells either here or here. "12 is, I think, less interesting. 12. So how many boxes is the 12 clue visiting? It actually can't be that many, can it? Because although 12 is divisible by just about everything, it would be very wrong of us to suggest that the 12 snake could visit even three different boxes, because if it visited 3 boxes, in each box it would have to have cells summing to 4, and there's no way it can get from one box to another. If we had a snake that sort of did this, and then we said, okay, we now need to either revisit this box or get to this box, it's going to need at least 3 cells to do it, and 3 cells would add up to at least 6 if they were 1, 2 and 3 and absolutely minimal. So that's not possible. So that means that the 12 actually only visits 2 boxes then. Which means that the 12 has 6 in each box. But what we can't say is that that's only a 2-cell sequence. It could be a 3-cell. So that's a possible snake, that W pentomino. Because this could have 6 in here with a 1, 2, 3 triple, and then it could even be a hexomino. It could have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That might give the 22 a bit of a problem because that's got to have 11. That would break it. Yeah, that would break it because it would have 11 in here, 11, and then 6 there in 7 different cells would mean these cells would have to be rather large, and that's because of the secret, of course. And I only tell the secret to my very, very special friends, but if you're watching this video, you're definitely among them. The secret is, of course, that any complete box of a Sudoku, because it has the digits 1 to 9 in it once each, sums to 45. So if this box contained an 11 4-cell sequence and a 6 3-cell sequence, then they would add up to 17, implying those 2 squares had to add up to 28, and we can't do that with Sudoku digits. So the 12 here and the 12 here are visiting just 2 boxes each. Now let's go back to the 20, because that was the one that I did the example with. Now 20, well, no, this can't visit 4 boxes. It's impossible. It's just impossible, because it could only take 5 in each box. So as it sort of came into here, in order to... Oh, actually, hang on. Is that possible? Or is that total nonsense? Maybe it can do that. Hang on. I've surprised myself here. I thought this was going to be completely ludicrous. But now I'm wondering whether that's true or not. So if this was having a sum of 5, then this would be a 5. That would be a 5. No, that's absolutely fine, isn't it? Oh, goodness me. Right, okay, I totally not understood that. Right, so the 20 cage can visit 4 different boxes. So I don't think this is useful. I don't think I haven't got a clue what that does. So what then do we do with this knowledge? I'm even wondering whether I was right about the 12 then, because I thought the 12, yeah, it's because of the position actually. The 12 can't get to 3 boxes, because to get to its third box it has to take 3 cells in a box itself, which the 20 cage weirdly doesn't because of where it starts. It can do that, and it's never spent more than 2 cells in a box, whereas this, to get to its third box, because the quickest it can exit box 8 is here. Sorry, Maverick seems to be flying past in a very old and loud aeroplane. Yeah, to get it to here it needs 3 cells in this box, and to get it back into box 8, if the snake can't touch itself, it needs 3 cells in box 9. So that logic is right, but it's purely a facet of where the 12 snake starts. So it must be to do with the 49, mustn't it? This 49, somehow we can at least draw some of it in. How do we do that? The reason we can draw some of the 49 snake in is because we know it visits 7 boxes. It finishes in one of these boxes. Maybe I know what I should do. I should highlight these other things in colours, because that will help me to see what's going on. We'll make that blue, we'll make that purple, we'll make that one yellow, we'll make this one green, we'll make, almost used up all my nice colours now, we're going to be resorting to greys soon. We'll have to make that one grey, we'll make that one black, and we'll make, oh, and I've just got the 2 silly ones up here, look, and I've run out of colours. So one of these will have to be white pro tem, this one. So now I have to build a red snake that visits 7 boxes. How do we get a handle on this? I think it's something to do with this snake's ability to cross wide expanses of whiteness. Because whenever this snake when this snake crosses a box, and I don't mean a corner box, I mean when it crosses that box, or this box, or this box, or this box, which I feel it must do, and that's only a feeling, we'll try and prove that if I think this is sensible, but to cross a box it must take 1, 2 and 4 on its crossing. And that surely makes the 12 cages very difficult. Yeah, the 12, yeah, okay, the 12 cages, they're either taking 3 cells in their boxes, adding up to 6, or they're taking 2, so they always need a 2 cell sum adding to 6 is either 1, 5 or 2, 4, so it needs a 1 or a 2, and that wouldn't be available to it if this red snake sort of did something like that. This 12 is broken now, because this has to be 1, 2, 4, and this 12 cage has no way of fulfilling its duties to the world. So does that mean... okay, so that means that in getting to our count of 7 regions that this red snake visits, you know, we can't be doing something like this. We can visit it slightly. We could do that and go up, or we could go here and turn right. But what we can't do is go down and turn left, or go left and turn down, because the moment we do that, we have to cross an ocean of white space. And we can't cross oceans of white space in this box or this box. Now, the only thing that makes me question whether that is it possible actually to pick up 7 different boxes with this red snake without needing to cross a box? So let's just see if we can do that quickly. So I get 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, 4 here. Then I've got to go back in here again. If I'm not going, what I'm trying to do is to not cross one of these boxes. And I don't think this is possible at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, as soon as you go back on yourself, you can't get out of the box you've gone back on yourself into, because to get out, I'm going to have to take too many cells if I'm not touching myself. And no jokes, please. And if I, yeah, okay. So that I think hopefully that's self-evidently obvious. We definitely need, we would probably need to cross 2 of these boxes, but we certainly need to cross at least 1 of them. And because we can't cross this one or this one, we're either crossing this one or this one. So that means that we can actually draw in some potential snake pictures then. So there's either going to be crossings like this, or like this, like this, or like this, I think. Now, and I think that is fair as well, because I think it does have to be a 5-cell sequence, doesn't it? Because if we did have that as a red crossing of a white space, then we can't wiggle about after that. We can't. We have to continue, because if we wiggle, this 1, 2, 4 triple will break. We can't make 4 or 5 cells in the same box add up to 7. So there is a 5-cell string of redness somewhere in this puzzle. And the only other thing that I'm just questioning in my mind now is whether or not, the snake could end. So it could, but that's not, that's not the idea of crossing the white segments. That's nonsense, isn't it? The reason we need to cross these great expanses of white is to access more boxes. It's not to spend a load of time in a box and not get to access what's on the other side of it. We're not going to be able to get to a count of 7 if we just sort of wiggle around here. We need to cross boxes. That's the whole point of this, so ignore me, I'm just being silly. Right, so there is a 5-cell string of redness somewhere. One of these 4 at least is true. Let's just get rid of that colouring there. Now, which of them is it? Now, what it's not, interestingly enough... Oh, no, this is beautiful. Right, what it's not is that one or that one. Because if it's that one or that one, how does the snake extend? Now, remember, this is a 1, 2, 4 triple. So this, one of these, now, needs to get out of its box. Well, the only way it's going to be able to do that is to take 2 more cells in its box. In other words, it needs a 1, 2, 4 triple to traverse the box it enters or exits on one side of this snake. And that's going to put too many 1, 2, 4s in the column. So this is impossible. That snake region is impossible. That snake region is impossible. We now are down to just 2 potential crossings of boxes. And I'm going to say that that 38 looks remarkably broken. If that's red snake all along there, this is broken. It's just broken. This is it. We've done it. We've done it. So now we can say, and this is broken because remember that this is the head or the tail of the snake, and we said earlier this has to take 19 in this box before it leaves. Well, it can only take 17 now, like that. Then it's got to go out because it can't cross the other snake. So this is impossible. And if that's impossible, then this is possible and in fact necessary. So now we know a great big portion of the 49 snake, and we know this is a 1, 2, 4 triple. Now the 20. Right, the 20 is now constrained in a way it wasn't before. Before, I worried about the 20 doing something like that and contributing a count of 5 into each box it visited. Well, it can't now. If this... Oh, no, hang on, that's not true. It can just come out. No, I'm wrong. It could do that, and then this. Yeah, and then it could just do that. So it's... Oh, and then it has to get to another one. Oh, yes. How about that then? Yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm talking absolute nonsense then. So this 20 has still got loads of optionality. So, right, okay, but can we take this red snake further then? Because it's still got to... We've still got to attach it to here somehow. Where's my purple gone? There's a purple. So now, where's that one gone? That was blue, wasn't it? So now I've managed to get the snake into 4 regions now. So I've got to get 3 more regions. I've got to get 3 more regions, but I can't cross this box or this box to do that. So I can totally see how I can do something like this. But that only, and then I could duck in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's only 6 regions. I need another region, but I can't cross this region to do it. So, right, I see. So that what we can now conclude, I think, is that this snake never visits the bottom of the grid. And that's because if it does, if we do come down here, then we've either got to cross this great ocean of whiteness or this great ocean of whiteness, neither of which is possible in order to get up here. So we can never come down here, ever. And that means that we've got only 6 boxes available to us, yet we have to visit 7 boxes. And that paradox is okay because we can re-enter a box. Now we know we're not re-entering this box, so we are either, and we know we're finishing in an odd box, so we're either finishing in this box or this box now. And hang on, am I right that those are the boxes that are re-entered then? Probably am. Not totally certain. I sort of feel like it's one of these 2 boxes now that must be the re-entered box. So how do we do this? So what we could do, we've got to be very careful about not breaking this. So we could do that. So now I've visited 1, 2, 3, I've visited 5 boxes. So I've got to come into this box. And then I could do that, and there you go. It's something like this, I think, is the answer. So, oh no, this doesn't work. Sorry, no, that's wrong. That is wrong because I've got too many 1s, 2s and 4s now. Because whenever we spend 3 cells in a box, we know we're looking at 1, 2, 4 triples. But I've spent 3 cells in that box as well, so I've got too many 1s, 2s and 4s in row 4 here. So this isn't quite right. It's hang on, how am I going to do that then? So so hang on, I've got to take so is it the other way round? If I take those 3, that's clever. Right, yeah. Okay, so now I think the point is that if this snake exits into box 6 as its first move, it can't do that without taking 3 red cells in this box because of the geometry. And that forces us to use the digits 1, 2 and 4 in this box. And that prevents us from going back on ourselves, which we need to be able to do so as that we don't cross the great seas of whitenesses. So I think we just go straight out here like this, so we don't have to put 1, 2 and 4 into these cells. So if we do that, now we have to be careful with the 12, we can't have 3 cells of red in this box because that will break the 12. So we have to exit the box with alacrity, which means we do that. That connects this up. So now I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now, can I do that? 6, 7. And have I broken anything here? This is 1, 2, 4. No, this is beautiful. This is beautiful, and I'm going to argue it's the only way you can do this. Because I think we disproved everything else. And so, in a sort of Arthur Conan Doyle type manner, what's left must be the truth. So now, let's just think about this. So now this would be adding to 7, this is 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 adding to 7, and that is a 7. And now, so now my 20 has become more... okay, well now it's obvious. So now all of this pontification about how this 20 works has gone away. Because this 20 now cannot visit more than 2 boxes. In the sense, well, it could visit more than 2 boxes, but not and keep its total in any one box down to 5. Because it's in making its way through the middle box, which actually it can't get out. I've just noticed as well, it can't run over other snakes, can it? That would be too rude. So in fact, it's only allowed to go in 2 boxes. So its total is 10. Broken puzzle. Oh, Simon. I've broken it. Oh, you absolute wally. Sorry, I've broken it. Because the total for this is 10. And how am I going to make a total of 10 in this box? I can't, because this is the start or end of the snake. It's got to go this way for a domino or this way for a domino. I can't take all 3 cells. I couldn't anyway. But then how am I making a domino add to 10? I've got 1, 9, 2, 8, 4, 6 and 3, 7 all ruled out. Oh no, hang on, I know what I've done wrong. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, goodness me. So it's even. This snake is even determined. I didn't think about this. But look, why I stopped this here because I was just doing my absolute utmost. Almost used a naughtier word there. I was doing my absolute utmost to get the snake to go back into a region. And once I'd achieved that, I was like, woohoo! But unfortunately, I forgot the opportunity, or forgot the possibility that this snake could just carry on. Why does it need to be one cell here? It could be two. It can't be three, interestingly, because that'll break that cell. But by extending this to make it 2 cells, I now don't have to put a 7 here. And if I don't have to put a 7 here, this 20 cage, or 20 snake, is now possible, because it can be a 3-7 pair in box 2. So this is a 3 or a 7. Now, if it goes this way, because this cell can't equal 10, the snake would touch itself orthogonally. So it doesn't do that. It comes here and turns down, and then must continue. So there we go. That is a total snake, this little Tetris piece, and that's a 3 or a 7. And then these 2 squares add up to 10, and they're not 3, 7, because that would break this one. So that that means this cell is a 1, 2, or a 4, because the nature of a 10 domino is it needs a low digit and a high digit. And the low digit can't go here. It can't be 3, 7 or 1, 2, 4 by Sudoku. It must go there, which means this square is 6, 8 or 9. This, by the way, let's just pause. 40 minutes in, no digits, not only a snake drawn. But remark on how clever udukos is, because what udukos has done here is put a few caged or beginnings of snakes into a grid, and then forced the whole length of the snake. It's just totally forced ab initio, which is very, very weird and rather cool. Right, so now this one has to get out, because every snake visits other boxes. So that snake is doing at least this as a little shimmy. Okay, here is a little point. 7, 8 and 9 in this row, because every snake segment is adding up to 7 on the 49 thing. These digits here must be lower than 7 because they're part of dominoes. So those digits have got to be 3s, 5s and 6s, which means these cells have got to be 7, 8 and 9. Okay, so that means these cells are at 1, 2s and 4s, because they're the sort of the counterparts to the 3, 5s and 6s, adding up to 7 each time. That gives us a 1, 2, 4 triple in this row, which means that now the rest of these digits are 5, 6, 8 and 9, and we'll go full Goodliff on this. Oh, nearly. I was quite excited. I thought that was going to be a quadruple, but it's not quite. We've got too many digits in there. Now, this is the higher version. This is a 3, 5 or 6, isn't it? Because it can't be a 1, 2 or 4, which means that's a 1, 2 or 4. Right, that's a little interesting actually for this cell, because now this domino it must have a 1, 2 or a 4 in it, because the 3 ways of making 7 are 1, 6, 2, 5 and 3, 4. So there is a virtual 1, 2, 4 triple in this row, and that means that cell cannot be 1, 2 or 4. So it's got to be 3 or 5, I want to say. Because we know it's part of a snake that adds up to 6 in this box. Right, it's not 3. Because if this was 3, the only way it can add up to 6 within the box is if we partner it up with a 1 and a 2. And that would mean this was a 3, 1, 2 snake, and there would be no way of making the red cells in this box add up to 7, because we'd have taken away the opportunity for 1, 6, 2, 5 or 3, 4. So that is a digit. I've done it. I have got a digit. So this is a 5, and it must have a 1 next to it. And we know where the 1 goes. It doesn't go there because of Sudoku, and it doesn't go there because there's a 1, 2, 4 triple in the row. So it goes here, and therefore the snake must continue to its friend here, where this is now a part of a snake that's adding to 6 in this box. So this cell here has to be 2, 3, or 4 only. Feels quite hard for it to be 3, doesn't it? But because that would require a 1 and a 2 as well. And that would make the 11 snake here, because we need to leave 11 in this box for the 22 snake, absolutely fine, because it could be 4, 7 or 5, 6. Right, okay, ignore me. That's not 5 anymore. Oh, hang on. Okay, so this 7, this is adding to 7, it's not 2, 5, so that's 3, 4, or 1, 6. That's not 5 anymore, so that's not 2. Bobbins. That's not 1 anymore, actually, because there's a 1 here, so that's 4. So that's 3. You're getting more digits now. So this is not 3, 4. So this is 1, 6. So this is 2, which means that's 8, because we know we're on a 10 snake when we're in purple land. So now what do we do? Now this snake up here is not 3, 4. So this is either a 1, 6 or a 2, 5 snake. 4 has to be in one of those two cells. So 3 has to be in one of those, and it already is. Okay. So that's very interesting, but it's not really. That cell now is interesting, because now I've got a quintuple in box 1 on 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Look, so this is lovely. So I've got to put 3, 4 in the corner here. Hopefully there'll be a 3 in the corner. We can do a song, but that 3, 4 is locked into there. So this is a 1, 2 pair in the column. So that means 1 now in this box is in one of those 3 cells. Two is in one of those cells in box 4. And I don't know, I'm almost tempted to pencil mark row 4 as well. We need 5, 6s, 7s and 9s. And we can't put 5 in there. And we can't put 6 in there, look, because of the 1, 6 pair. Don't think there's anything going on in the columns. What about this row? 3s, 7s, 8s and 9s. That's not 3. Again, look at this column. It's very close. It's very close to being forced. That's not 2. I sort of feel like I'm getting bogged down with Sudoku here. This is never a good sign. Let me think about this. So what is the way that I'm meant to be progressing this solve now? I've done my 20 snake. I've basically done my 49 snake. I've started my 38 snake, which I know is going to be 19 in this box. Oh, I suppose it's going to be 19 in this box and then 19 in this box now, because it can't come into this box. It would bump into the 18 snake. Do we know how long the 18 snake is? So 18, well, it's not visiting 9 regions, is it? That's for true. So it's not only having 2 in each box it visits. Now, if this was visiting 6 regions, that cannot be right. It would be having 3 cells totaling 3 in all of the 6 regions it visited, and there's no way it can get from box to box having only 3 in each box. That's silly. So this one is either visiting 3 regions and having 6 in each of the regions. Now it's not that. It's not that, because if this had 6 in this box, how would it get that 6? It can't have 6 itself. There's already a 6 in the box. So it would have to be a 2-cell sum. It would have to be these 2 cells. But that means it needs 1, 5 or 2, 4, and none of that's available. So this is a 2-region snake. That's therefore having 9. It's having 9 in this box. So it could just be a 9. And if it's not a 9, it's taking those 2 cells and then coming down here. So, oh no, that's right. That is right. Because if it's not just a 9 on its own, it would need a second cell from this box, and this is the head or the tail of it, so it has to go, its direction of travel is this way, and then it must move down. So this is either, now if this is a 2-cell snake, it can't be 1, 8, 2, 7 or 3, 6. Oh, and it can't be 4, 5. The 5 in this row is in this box. So this is just nonsense. This is not a 2-cell snake in box 5. This is a 9 on its own, and now it goes into another box, which is this one or this one. But actually, interestingly, when it goes into those boxes, we don't know how long it is at all, because a 9 could be a 3-cell 9. It could be, although not if it goes into that one, it can't be a 3-cell 9, because that would lock the 38 into this box. Right, but look, we get a 9 here, so those are not 9, which means that those are not 7, which means this is not 9. Oh, that's disappointing. That was so... so this is 2, 7, 8. And these cells are now 3 and 4. Bother. I was getting quite excited then, and that's not gone nearly as far as I was hoping it would. Right, so now what do we do next? We shall argue about... Oh, here is an interesting point. How does this turn this way? If this comes into this box as its second region, and we try and make cells total 9, we haven't got 1, 2 and 4 available to us, so we'd have to have 3 and 6, but we can't. That's impossible, because the 3 is in one of those. Oh, no, we can't. We can't, because how do I pick up a 3 in this box to make a 3-6 pair without interfering too much with the 38? I can't do it. The 38 needs to get out. So there's no way I can pop up here and pinch the 3. For the necessary 3, I'd need to make my 9 work. So this one doesn't come into this box. It must go into this box, which means this is yellow. So that means What does that mean? But the problem is now all the pressure's off it, so although perhaps I have to be a bit careful with the 12 clue. So the 12 clue is having 6 in this box. The 9 clue is having 9 in this box. And I've now got a green clue here. And the green clue... okay. Which other box does the green clue go into? I don't think it can come into this box. Because the green clue is either a 3, a 4, or it's both of those cells, which is a 7. Well, I can't make these digits add up to 3, 4, or 7. So the green clue must come into this box. Now the only problem with that is I don't know whether it does this or it just comes straight down. If it comes straight down, this can't be a 3, because that would put 1 and 2 in this box, and then the 12 clue would be impossible. So if it does come straight down, this would have to be a 4, and then there'd be a 1-3 pair in green in this box, and this would have to be a 2-4 pair to escape from box 8. The only thing about that is that feels difficult to me, just because I've got if this is a 4 on its own and it's coming into this box with a 1-3 pair, then you've got a green 1-3 in here. You've got 2 cells adding up to 9. You couldn't have 3 cells anymore because 1 and 3 wouldn't be available. And then you've got cells here adding up to 6. You've got a lot of lownesses going on there. That's really a very great number of lownesses. Feels like it's too many, doesn't it? 9, 15, and 4 in 2 cells. It's not, no, it's wrong. It's wrong. It's too few cells. Let me just double check this. So let's keep the count of cells in this box down to the minimum we can. Now we know that this can't just be a 9. So the minimum number of yellow cells in this box is 2. The minimum number of orange cells in this box is 2. So that's 4 cells. But we know if this is a 4 on its own, it's having 2 cells at least. No, it's having 2 cells exactly, because it can't be 1 cell or it would be a 4 on top of a 4. So that means these 6 cells here, minimum 6 cells, could be more, but these minimum of 6 cells have to add up to 4 plus 9 plus 6, which is only 19. But the triangular, not the triangular number, well, it is the triangular number actually. The triangular number for 6 is 21. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 is 21. It's not 19. So this is not capable of being a single digit clue. Therefore, it must take another cell in its box. It must take this, and then it must turn down, because that's the direction of the snake. Now, have we relieved all the pressure, therefore? If this is a 2-cell clue adding up to 7, we'd have 7 here plus 9 plus 6. Oh, that's fine. That's enough. Because that's equal to 22, or at least that's what I got when I did the maths. And 22 in 6 cells is absolutely possible. Okay. So we can't... I don't think we can conclude that this is a single cell clue. It's quite interesting though. So what does this mean? We know this 7 clue is not 1, 2, 4, because that will break this 12 clue. So it's either a 2-cell clue or a 1-cell clue. we know that ooh, here is something interesting. This black clue, the 22 clue, we know that's getting 11 from its regions. Well, it can't get 11 from this region. It's only got 2s, 7s and 8s available to it, and then up 6, 9 if it gets up there, but it's already going to have blown its 11 total. So this one, there's something, I think I might have broken the puzzle again, I'm afraid, because this black cell, therefore, is picking up 11's worth of clues from this box. So now, box 8 is responsible for delivering snakes worth 11 for this one. Let's find, can we find a way of representing that? It needs 11's worth of black digits. It needs 6's worth of orange digits. So I'm going to put this in because it must be at least two cells that this 6 clue needs. It needs 9's worth of clues for yellow, and that's at least 2 cells, because we can't just put a 9 in this cell and be done with it. And then it needs 7's worth of cells in green, but green could be 1 cell. So that means that we've got, this is at least 2 cells for our 11 clue. So we've got 2 cells plus 2 cells plus 2 cells plus at least 1 cell, which is 7 cells, adding up to precisely 16 and 17, which is 33. Ah, it's beautiful. Right, that is beautiful. So we've just worked out that we have a minimum of 7 cells in this box, adding up to exactly 33. Well, if it was 8 cells in the box adding to 33, the other cell would have to be a 12, and that's impossible. So that means that we can't take any more than 7 cells for these clues. And yet we know the 11 clue is 2 at least, we know the 12 is 2 at least, and we know the 9 is 2 at least. So the 7 here must be exactly 1, and therefore it is a 7. Now, the only trouble here is that I've got to be careful now, because I put these in as placeholders and they might be total nonsense. Well, the other interesting thing we now know is that the 11 clue could have been a 3-cell clue, actually, but it can't be now because that would require the other cell to be 12 in the box. So we don't know where anything goes. But we do, well, actually we do. We do know where this one goes, because we know it's here, and then it can't be here, so it must take a second cell here. So these 2 cells now add up to 9, and they are not 1, 8 or 2, 7. Oh, this is gorgeous. Good grief. Well, they're not 4, 5. Because if they're 4, 5 and we've worked out that the 12 clue is 2 cells, and we have, then it would be broken. There would be no way to fill it. So this is 3, 6. And therefore that's a 7 by Sudoku. And that's a 3 by Sudoku. And that's a 3 and that's a 4. Wow. Just wow. This 7 is giving me another digit there. 7, 5 there. This is no longer 4. This is... no, can't do any better with that. What about that one? No. Okay, so alright, well we nearly performed magic then. So how do we do this therefore? This column needs 1s, 4s and 5s into it. So this square is a 5 naked single. 1 and 4 are already in the row. So this square is a 1 or a 4, which feels very, very nice, doesn't it? With this having to be 2 cells adding up to 6. This square is not a 5 anymore. Okay. Here's something interesting. What's this digit? That precise digit. We know it's in a domino adding up to 6. So it's either 1, 5 or 2, 4. And it's a 5 and a 4 looking at it. So that's a 1 or a 2. And that forms a pair in the column, which makes this a 6 and this a 1. So now this column we've not put 8 and 9 into it. So we better do that. So this square is 6, 8 or 9 to complete this box. So does this have to be 2, 4 going in here? Is that the point of this? I haven't thought about this going this way. It's probably impossible. You know what? That's catching my eye now, so I'm going to delete it. Right. So what do we do now with our newfound knowledge of the world? Haven't got a clue. Haven't got a Scooby-Doo. Can we... What have I not used? I've used the 18 clue. I've used the question mark clue. I don't like that 11 sitting there anymore. That's distracting me. I can't see how to decide which way this 12 goes, I'm afraid. So I'm not sure if that's what I'm meant to look at next or not. Wow. Where am I meant to look now? I'm an hour and 7 minutes. It's going to be another absolute movie. I feel so guilty about this, I have to say. Alright, let's have a look at this top bit. Can we do more work on this somehow? We know that we've got... No, I think it's the short answer. No, we can't. Oh, I tell you what I can do. That's not a 2 anymore. I've just seen, I've got this 1, 2 pair, so that's a 2. Is that helpful? The answer to that is apparently no. It's giving me some digits I can probably pencil mark at the end of row 6, which are 5s, 6s, 7s and 8s. So the 38 clue now, I need 19's worth of digits from this box. Which... How is that going to work? Okay, I've got to be a bit careful actually, because I've got 7's worth of digits there. So if this 38 clue took 4 cells, for example, for its 19, then 19 plus 7 is 26, and the other 2 digits would have to add up to 19 to make the box add up to 45. So this 38 clue is taking 3 cells exactly, and then must exit into this box. So if that's the case, that's got to be blue, and it exits here, because we must be doing this or this. So that's blue. Now, we need 19, so we're either looking at, if it's those 3, how are we doing that? Do we have to have, we'd have to have a 3 involved, so that would have to be 3, 7, 9. So you'd have to have 3, 9, and this would be a 7. That's one possibility. If, on the other hand, what about if it's those 3 cells? Then you can't have 3, 7, 9. 13, 5, 6, 8 you could have. Yes, it must be 5, 6, 8, otherwise you're going to break the total, because 6, 7, 8 adds up to 21. So if it's this way, it's 5, 6, 8. And this would be 8, and this would be a 5, 6 pair. So the options for this square were either... So this square is not 8. I think that's what I'm learning here. So I'm now questioning myself about that. I'm not sure I trust that deduction. If this is 3... Well, no, the thing is that could be 3. This could be 3, 9, and this could be 7. That's one possibility. If we're going down this paradigm, I need a 5 in one of these. I need 5, 6, which would have to be these two, and this would have to be the 8. Yeah, okay. So I don't think that can be 8. But that doesn't really do anything, does it? Bother. Bother, 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 bother. Okay, let's instead then pencil mark down this column. We have got to put in lots of high digits. 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s and 9s. That's not 7. I was about to say that this can't be orange now, but it still could be. That could be a single solitary 6, which would be very annoying. Right. So how do we do this then? Is this obvious to everybody? I really... This is an 11 cage that we know is somehow connecting to this box, don't we? That's it. This is so clever. Oh, udukos again, foxing me. Look, we know this 22 cage is making a way into here and taking 2 cells that add to 11. We know it's not more than 2 cells because of the count we did earlier. How does this get a domino that adds up to 11? It can't be 5, 6, it can't be 3, 8, and it can't be 4, 7. So the digits it needs are 2 and 9. Therefore, that can't be a 2 and has to be a 1, which means it doesn't join this. It must join a 5 here and a 6 here. That's the only way that can work. That's madness. So this is a 4, which means this is 1, 2, 4. This is 5. This is 2 now. Because of this 6 here, we need this to add to 7. So this is 3, 6. Get rid of the 2's from here. So, okay, so we got a 2 in one of these. Now, this... Well, okay, this snake can't touch itself. So it never comes into this cell, because then it would touch itself. So it must take that cell. And now, if this snake... If this took a 3rd cell in this column, it could do that. It could do 1, 2, 3, 5 to get to 11, but then this 12 cage would be broken, wouldn't it? Because we know this is picking up 6 in here in some configuration. So this mustn't take this cell. So it must now exit here. And it can't take this cell as well, because that would make it a minimum of 5 plus 6 here, and these would both have to be 0. So this exits into here and picks up one of these digits as its final digit. So this is not an 8, because we know we're looking for a 2-9 pair in this box. So this is not a 9 by the same token. If this is a 1-2 pair, you can't make this, whatever it is over here, add up to 6. So this is also not an 8. So this is 5, 6 or 7 now. It's not 5 by Sudoku. We're narrowing in on this. It's not 6 by Sudoku, it's 7. It's 7 by Sudoku. That's 8, that's 9. So this is not 9. So this must be resolved. So this comes in here and it needs to pick up 2 and 9. So if this is the 2, that's the 9. If this is the... Oh, for goodness sake. It's still ambiguous, I think. Probably isn't. I'm not spotting how to resolve that, but I can see a couple of ways it might work. But if this is 7, this must be a 1-3 pair. And therefore that we know the order. So that's 3, that's 1. This now adds up to 11. This is now a 3-4 pair at the top, look. And now this needs to add up to 6. Can't be a 6. So it's got to be a 2-4 pair. So it's not a 3 anymore. Where's the other digit go? Yes, look, 2-4 looking at that cell. So it goes there. So that's completed another snake. Don't know why I'm ringing that snake, and I haven't ringed it or any of the others, but for some reason it felt like the right thing to do. Oh, now I'm going to have to ring all the others, aren't I? Yes, I am. I'm sorry. But my OCD will not allow me not to. Gone awry. There we go, there's one snake. Let's do the purple snake. We don't know what that one looks like. We do know the green snake does that. We do know the yellow snake does that. We do now know the orange snake. We don't quite know what the black snake does yet. And we don't... Well, we know that's not part of the question mark snake. There's another question mark snake down in the bottom right that we've not even thought about. So, but hang on. Let's think about what these two digits are now. Because they have to add up to, well, they're a 5 and an 8, which we can just write in actually by Sudoku. So now that's not a 5. Oh, okay, look, that's a 5 by Sudoku, this cell here, 5, 5, that's got to be a 5. So that's not a 5, and does that disturb what I thought this was going to be? No, that could be 3, 9 with 7. Or if this is 6, I needed that to be 5, 8, didn't I? Botheration. Okay, look, this 8 is doing some work, so we can get rid of some 8s up here. I've got a 6, 9 pair, so that gets me a 7 in box 1. I've got an 8, 9 pair in row 2 now. Oh, what is going on? It's still not giving up. What about... Wow. Is it something to do with this one? At least I suppose we can pencil mark these cells now, can we? Oh, I've got all those digits. That's a 1. That does absolutely diddly squat for me. Right, what are these cells? These are not 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they are 2, 7, 8 and 9, I want to say. 2, 7, 8, 9. Oh, so is it 6? Is this the only place 6 can go in this row? That would seem to be true, wouldn't it? Sorry, I'm just pausing there because I don't know if I trust that. I don't quite see what's going on here. So 6 is in one of those two. 6 is in one of these two. 6 can't go there. Yeah, okay. So that's a 6. Which means that now... I don't know what it means. Okay, so now what's going on in this Graith region? I've got quite high digits here. A minimum of 17. 2 plus 7 plus 8 is 17. So this needs to grow. Okay, this needs to be more cells, so it's got to take that one. In fact, it's got to grow again, doesn't it? Because this is a minimum of 17, and that can't reach 17. So that gives us the count of this. So the count of grey is either 19 or 20 now. So does that mean... Yes, it does. How could there not be a 2 in here? These would add up to 24, and that's impossible. So there's a 2 in one of these, and we're heading up towards 19 or 20. Well, we can't get to 20 if we include 2 in the sum. So this is 289. Oh, this is so beautiful. That's amazing. This is 289, putting 7 in the corner. 7 comes out of these cells. And that tells us that because we're heading up towards 19, this digit is an 8. Which means that we get the 8 in this box, and we get the 9 here, and the 6 here, and the 9 here. And that means that's an 8, that's a 6, that's a 7. Wow. Wow. Suddenly we're away again. 9 goes here. 2 goes here. I need to put 9 with it, can't go there. So it goes here. Complete our snake. Now we've just got, well, not quite. Oh, hang on, look, I've got a 2-4 pair here. All I've got to do is to complete the right hand side of the grid, and that feels achievable. That's not 8. So now, can we do this one now? I don't know if we've actually knocked out much from what we thought it was before. That's the problem. We've got 8 here now. Aha. Aha. So now we've just got 5, 6 and 7 along here. Ah, that's beautiful. Right, this is not blue. Because if that's blue, we said that this had to be 5, 6, 8. And that would mean if this is a 5, 6 pair, this cell's got no value. To put it another way, there's no possibility of putting 7 in row 6. So this is not blue. That must be blue, which means we're looking for 3, 9 in these squares, and that's a 7. So this is an 8 by Sudoku. This is not 7. So, somewhat weirdly, it doesn't actually seem to progress the solve dramatically. That's a 7 in the bottom row. These two squares are 2 and 9. Oh no! No! Oh, what am I missing now? Yes, 2, 9 pair in that column. That's what I'm missing. I've got 3 here, 9 here, 9 here, 2 here, 9 in the corner, 2 in the corner. That's 3 in the corner. Didn't get a song. I didn't see it at the time. Some of you will be very upset with me about that. I'm sorry. Seems a bit late to give it its song now. Now, what about this column? I need 1s, 4s and 6s. So that's a naked single. That's a 6. This is a 1, 4. This is a 6. This is a 3. Now those squares have got to include 5 and 8. So 8 goes in. 5 goes here. 5 goes here. 6 goes here. 6 goes here. 3 goes here. That seems to suggest this is a 3. And this is a 1 or a 4, and now that's a 2 by Sudoku. Oh, I've got some sort of weird deadly pattern on 1s and 4s that hopefully will get resolved. How does this work then? What's this clue doing? Let's give this clue a red colour on the basis it's probably not going to touch this red. So this is... Oh, I see. Yeah, no, this is obvious, actually. Okay, so where is this one's second region? Well, it's not here, because that can only be a 4. So it's got to come into this box. And it can't come into this box over here, surely, because it would only pick up 5, and it would pick up more than 5 in getting there. So it comes into this box, so that's red, And if that's red as well, we've got 14, which no, this is the head or the tail of the snake, don't forget. So we have to go straight there. So in fact, this is a 1. 5 plus 1 equals 6, and that snake is built. And now I understand why this clue was here. So all we've got left to do, yes, and that's, look, this 1 is giving us all of this knowledge. So now the Sudoku's done, and all I've got to do is build the blue snake. So I've got 19 here. I need 15 more. That's not right. Oh no, don't tell me I've not... Oh no, I can come... Right, 6, 2 and 7 add up to 15. Thank goodness for that. Good grief. There we go. I think that is the correct solution. Let me just check I've ringed all... Oh, I haven't quite ringed that top snake in the way that I would like to. That's a quite exceptionally good puzzle. Yes. Quite exceptionally good. I don't know whether I feel like Baldrick or I feel like Blackadder or a mixture of the two. I don't think... Was I quick about that? No, I mean, that was hard. I mean, it's really hard to even start. To appreciate what's going on with the 49 snake is not that easy. But it's rather wonderful that you can just draw it in at the start, you know, without doing any Sudoku or anything. It's a beautiful puzzle. It is just another beautiful puzzle. The last couple of weeks on the channel, extraordinary stuff. I am very sorry again for taking this much time. If you're completely sick of long videos, let us know. And we can certainly do shorter videos. Whether they'll reach the sort of incredible levels of this sort of puzzle, I don't know. But yeah, another appeal to the constructors of the world. Just anything slightly. I want the beauty, but maybe not the hour-and-a-half video every day. That would be great. And thanks so much for watching if you're still here. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.